Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Storytime. Tonight is Wednesday and you know what that means. It's the newly developed Poetry Night. Yes, Saturdays and Sundays are reserved for Russian fairy tales and original stories. Mondays and Fridays are for Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula currently, but once that's done it will move on to another story. I believe the next one in line is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm currently reading Goosebumps, and Wednesdays is now poetry. Right now we're going through the works of Edgar Allan Poe. Which, you know, if you all like that, I may make it so that it's more than just the poems. I may go through all his works, should you so wish, including his stories. But that's a discussion for another time. In the meantime, welcome to Storytime. Hello, Mum, glad you have joined us. Good to see you. Anyway, Facebook. You can find me on Facebook if you would like to. It's, you know, pretty easy. I'm Brett Picorni. You can also find the Facebook group Storytime, 2 words, exclamation point at the end. It's a good group. Hello, Crystal, glad to see you. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here. This is just the beginning announcements. Then, in addition to Facebook, there's YouTube. If you're watching or would like to watch on YouTube, you can follow B Picorni 1. That's my channel. Like this video, please. Subscribe, please, if you haven't, and share it with others so that they may partake as well and also have a good time. You're here. Don't leave. I understand, Crystal. I will not leave. I'm right here. But anyway, then there's also Twitch. You can follow me on Twitch as well. On Twitch, I am Brett Doesn't Game, all one word. With that, I think it's time that we get started with some stories. It is, after all, story time. Well, tonight's poetry time. So, shall we? Woo! Knocked something over. Let me unknock it over. And shall we get started? I think we shall. So, the first of the poems tonight. I'm going to read a series of poems from Edgar Allan Poe. The first one, in fact I'm going to read 4 of them. The first one is A Dream Within a Dream, published in 1850. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow, you are not wrong who deem that my days have been a dream. Yet if hope has flown away in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is therefore the less gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of the golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep. While I weep. Oh God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? Oh God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream? Well, I hope you liked that one. Let me know down in the comment section below, or to the side, whatever it is. Crystal, are you having an error, or do you just keep saying I'm here, don't leave? Is it just a repeated thing that's happening by mistake? I'm not sure. Either way, let us continue. The next of the poems by Edgar Allan Poe, El Dorado, published in 1849. Gainly bedlight, bedlight being to dress or decorate, especially in splendid or impressive stature. So in this case, it is a verb. Gainly bedlight, a gallant knight, his sunshine and in shadow, had journeyed long, singing a song in search of El Dorado. El Dorado, a place used as a metaphor to represent an ultimate prize, that one might spend their life seeking, it could represent true love, heaven, happiness, or success. But he grew old, this knight so bold, and o'er his heart a shadow fell as he found no spot of ground that looked like El Dorado. And as his strength failed him at length, he met a pilgrim shadow. Shadow, he said, where can it be, this land of El Dorado? Over the mountains of the moon and down the valley of the shadow. Ride, boldly ride, the shade replied, if you seek for El Dorado. Interesting piece. I hope you enjoyed that one as well. There are, like I said, we're reading 4 Edgar Allan Poe pieces tonight. 4 of them. Goodness gracious, Crystal, what are you doing? It must be a glitch. I don't see how it could not be. Oh yes, it's got to be a glitch. It is a glitch for sure. The program is having trouble. Either way, it's okay. If there are other people commenting right now, and I just don't see your comments because it's showing... So here's the one it's showing. Crystal Burns, I'm here, don't leave. But it's here, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 times now. And it keeps appearing with the same timestamps. Well, no, the timestamps are increasing. But it's the same exact seconds of every minute. So I'm confused. I think it is a glitch. So if you're commenting, I apologize because I don't see the comments. Instead, I'm just getting this. Whatever the case, if you're here, I'm glad you're here. And thank you for being here. I'm happy to be reading to you and with you and for you. And that being said, I suppose I should move on to some more stories. What do you think? Shall I? Shall I? So what I think I'm going to do, like I said, I have 2 more poems, 2 more Edgar Allan Poe poems, but I also have some original ones that I think I would like to share. Some of them I might need to find, but there's one in particular that I think I know where it is. And sorry, it's just taking me a moment to get to this, but I remember this one. Oh, damn. Well, I'm sure I can find it. Well, that are my creative writing ones. Interpersonal communication skills. Journalism, Italian, math, law of mass communications. I do have one story here from another class, and I need to find it. See what it was. Oral interpretation of literature, maybe? No, that can't be. Nope, that's not the one. If I can't find it, I apologize. The American short story, that was the class. No, it's tough. Here it is! But it's a story, not a poem. Sorry for that. It's not actually a poem. It's just a story. So, I'll tell you what. I will look at one of my other ones for you to read. And here we are. Here from my actual poetry class. And this one is called First Poem by Brett Picorni. How original. I have no idea what it's called. First poem. Oh, I wonder. I think I know. Alright. I'm not going to share that just now, but I will share the poem. So, first poem by Brett Picorni. Semi-tall yet pudgy, eyes full of fright. Over yet underconfident, no lady's delight. Written for you when you were away, but who you were, too embarrassed to say. This is the first that wasn't assigned, and over-glorified will you be mine. Did you ever read it? I doubt that you did. Did you know about it? I kept it well hid. I remember the lines, how they each went. I remember the time and how it was spent. As the day goes by, I think of you and how I miss you so. Your hair, it glistens in the setting sun, like a golden ray of light, and eyes of sapphire appear under a glowing moon on a lovely midnight. Did I actually think that was good? Looking back, it sounds trite. Oh, I'll throw in some eyes and mention the hair. Girls like that stuff. That's neither here nor there. Girls like that stuff, right? That's neither here nor there. It's no excuse to write a piece of crap. Where a bear resembles you warming my day, my mind was clearly off track. I never learned how to simply let go, and I guess that's why I wrote, How I Miss You So. Oh my, I forgot about that poem. Obviously I hadn't when I wrote this one right here. But yes, that was a poem I wrote long ago. And let's see. It's there's a rewritten version here, which I'm sure is probably very similar. Let's see how it goes. Written for you when you were away, but who are you too embarrassed to say? This is the first that wasn't signed, and over-glorified will you be mine. I remember the lines, how each one went. I remember the time. I remember how much time I took and how it was spent. As the days go by, I think of you and how I miss you so. Your hair, it glistens in the setting sun, like a golden ray of light, and eyes of sapphire appear under a glowing moon on a lonely midnight. Did I actually think that was good? Looking back, it sounds a bit trite. Oh, I'll throw in some eyes and mention the hair. Girls like that stuff, right? Those things are common in poems, not exactly rare. But that's no excuse to write a piece of crap. The only explanation, my mind was off track. I never learned how to simply let go, and I guess that's why I wrote, How I Miss You So. So, there was the adjusted version of that. I see what I did. I took out a few lines. Anyway, if you like that, please leave a comment saying so. If not, leave a comment saying so. You know, if... Oh, my goodness. So, Crystal, it keeps giving me 1,000 copies of your messages. I'm eating twixt, not a lot to say, but yes, more stories. It just keeps repeating what you send. Not sure why. Oh well, it's doing it, but we don't need to know why it's doing it. So, let's move on to one more of my own. Really? So, this is, okay. It's called Mike Mulligan and His Steam Shovel. And I'm supposing it's based off of the old story. I used to love that story, Mike Mulligan's Steam Shovel. But anyway, I forgot I did a poem about it, apparently. And it starts off like this. Give me soul and show me the door, metal heavy, soft at the core. Give me Toro, give me some more. Pressurize, neutralize, deep fried, give me some more. Queens of the Stone Age. It can be done in a day, no doubt about it. Out of date, but not out of mind. I'll finish the job before taking a sit. Dig a hole, find a carrot. Dig a grave, find a bone. Find myself in my own dug museum, whether it's my first or my last. This engine keeps pumping with only the sounds of a hiss and a hum. And like that, the job will be done. I guarantee, without a doubt, it will get done before you lose sight of the sun. So I had promised, and so I will try. This is quite a job, but I did promise. Let's hope I didn't lie. I love the sunrise, but hate the yawns of an early morning break. Time to get to work with so much at stake. I give my knuckles a crack, jerk my head to the right before left, then... Then, to give Mary Ann Marion another go, I hop inside and her movements are sluggish yet incredibly deft. A slow and steady start, but if we're to finish in time, we need to work faster. The day has only begun, plenty of time for disaster. Time is passing quickly, and I don't know if I can make it before sundown. The task is all planned and half done, but optimism is fleeting. The sweat is pouring so thick I might drown. People doubt me. They tell me it's impossible. No one's that strong. I need to prove them wrong, prove them all wrong. The pace is hastened, and I'm stuck in a dark cloud of dust. It seems there's no way out of this hole that I've dug. I'm here for one thing. There's no use in my waiting to rust. I have to aim high. I have to. Alright. Let me move up one and see how I adjusted that one. Here is the adjusted version. And just like that, the job will be done. I guarantee you, without a doubt, it will get done before you lose sight of the sun. That was in quotes. So I had promised, and so I will try. This is quite a job, but I promised. Let's hope I don't lie. I love the sunrise, but hate the yawns of an early morning break. Time to get to work, with so much at stake. I love the sunrise. Oh, I just read that. I give my knuckles a crack, jerk my head to the right before left. Time to give Marianne Marian another go. I hop inside and let her movements, and her movements are sluggish, yet incredibly deft. A slow and steady start, but if we're to finish in time, we need to work faster. The day has only begun. Plenty of time for disaster. Time is passing quickly, and I don't know if I can make it before sundown. The task is all planned and half done, but optimism is fleeting. The sweat is pouring so thick I might drown. People doubt me. They tell me it's impossible. No one's that strong. I need to prove them wrong, prove them all wrong. The pace has hastened, and I'm stuck in a dark cloud of dust. It seems there's no way out of this hole that I've dug. I'm here for one thing. There's no use in my waiting to rust. So, no way out of this hole. I know my intentions. It seems impossible for me to rise to the top, but I have to have it in me. My confidence deteriorates with tension. So that was both versions of that poem. Again, Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel. Yay. Early college Brett. Good for you. Alright, so there that was. Oh, and hello, Amber. Good to see you have joined us. Huzzah. Huzzah, huzzah. It's on your... Okay, thank you, Crystal, for letting me know it's just on my end. It's happening with Amber as well, it would appear. Because I got several of her messages. Didn't hear the notification. Late girl. Yes, you'll understand. Huzzah, huzzah. We're getting a lot of huzzahs. We will be getting a lot of huzzahs. No problem with that. I don't have a problem with it. Do you? I doubt you do. Either case, that was the second of my original ones, and I think it's time we move on to the last two poems of the night, more from Edgar Allan Poe. This first one is called For Annie, published in 1849. I need a sip of something. Whiskey will do. Yes, I screamed in anger earlier, and it was a little more than my throat could handle. So sometimes a good scream will help you let out the steam. There, third poem for you tonight. Weren't expecting that, were you? Anyway, though, two more from Edgar Allan Poe. Like I said, the first one is the one that I'm about to start. Which I need to find again. Ah, there we go. For Annie, by Edgar Allan Poe. Yes, I'm fine. I was just... a shelf fell off in my fridge, and everything fell to the ground. Then something else in my fridge fell to the ground and broke the container, and I lost a ginormous amount of delicious green beans. But when that shelf fell, put it back up, put the stuff back in, and then it fell again, and inside there was a wine bottle that I had that was filled with homemade caramel cinnamon apple cider that was so effing good, and it broke and went everywhere. And it's just so sad and infuriating. Anyway, yeah, it pissed me off, for sure. Really wish I had drank some of that caramel apple cider, but that's okay. I have the recipe still, I can make it again sometime. Yes, the homemade stuff, and it was the last of it too. I have another apple cider, but it's not nearly as good. It's good, but not as good. It's a different type of apple cider. It's not a caramel apple cider, but regardless, I digress. And I see Debbie has joined us. Huzzah! Hello, Debbie! Thank you for being here. Anyway, shall we continue? Yes, we shall. Here it comes. Thank heaven, the crisis, the danger is past, and the lingering illness is over at last, and the fever called living is conquered at last. Sadly, I know I am shorn of my strength, and no muscle I move as I lie at full length, but no matter, I feel I am better at length. You rhymed length with length, you... Oh, Poe, how dare you. And I rest so composedly now in my bed, that any beholder might fancy me dead, might start at beholding me, thinking me dead. Oh, it's a style, isn't it? Yes, it is, you're repeating. I don't like that style, but I get what you're doing. The moaning and groaning, the sighing and sobbing are quieted now with that horrible throbbing at heart, at that horrible, horrible throbbing. The sickness, the nausea, the pitiless pain have ceased with the fever that maddened my brain, with the fever called living that burned in my brain. And oh, of all tortures that torture the worst, has abated the terrible torture of thirst. For the naphthaline river of passion accursed, I have drank of a water that quenches all thirst. Naphthaline, by the way, the modern spelling is naphthaline, a white solid with a strong smell, is also called mothballs, moth flakes, white tar, and tar camphor. Naphthalene is a natural component of fossil fuels such as petroleum and coal. In humans, exposure to large amounts of naphthalene may damage or destroy red blood cells. Some of the symptoms of this condition are fatigue, lack of appetite, restlessness, and pale skin. Of water that flows with a lullaby sound, from a spring but a very few feet underground, from a cavern not very far down underground. And let it never be foolishly said that my room is a gloomy and narrow my bed. For man never slept in a different bed, and to sleep you must slumber. I'm just in just such a bed. My tantalized spirits here blandly reposes, forgetting or never regretting its roses, its old agitations of myrtles and roses. For now, while so quietly lying it fancies a holier odor about it of pansies, like odor. I said odor like hodor. Anyway, commingled with pansies, with rue and the beautiful Puritan pansies, and in this case rue meaning sorrow, remorse, or regret. The French word for street, rue morgue, would then be translated as Morgue Street. Genus of about 40 species of perennial shrubs and strongly aromatic herbs. The leaves have been used for centuries in traditional medicines. And so it lies happily, bathing in many, a dream of the truth and the beauty of Annie, drowned in the bath of the tresses of Annie. She tenderly kissed me, she fondly caressed it. Wow. She tenderly kissed me, she fondly caressed, and then I fell gently to sleep on her breast, deeply to sleep from the heaven of her breast. When the light was extinguished, she covered me warm, and she prayed to the angels to keep me from harm, to the Queen of the angels to shield me from harm. And I lie so composedly now in my bed, knowing her love that you fancy me dead. And I rest so contentedly now in my bed, with her love at my breast, that you fancy me dead. That you shudder to look at me, thinking me dead. But my heart, it is brighter than all of the many stars in the sky, for it sparkles with Annie. It glows with the light of the love of my Annie, with the thought of the spirit, with the thought of the light on the eyes of my Annie. Where did I get spirit? I guess I'm tired. Well, that one happened. We've got one more poem for the night. I need some sleep. So, I will... Oh, it's a good thing I will be finishing with this last one. I haven't had much sleep the past few nights. Amber, it has you repeating, yes, 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 yes. Oh, look at that. I've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. And part of that is just because... He said the big F word. I do believe I did say the big F word, didn't I? Anyway, moving forward, we do have one final poem, and it's called The Haunted Palace. Published in 1839. 10 years before those other ones. You ready? Are you ready? Are you? Are you sure? Then let's do this. What's weird? Anyway, onward. Let's get on with it. In the greenest of our valleys, by good angels tenanted. Once a fair and stately palace, radiant palace, reared its head. In the monarch thought's dominion it stood there. Never seraph spread a pinion over fabric half so fair. Banners yellow, glorious golden, on its roof did float and flow. This, all this, was in the olden long time ago, and every gentle air that dallied in that sweet day, along the ramparts plumed and pallid, a winged odour went away. Pallid meaning pale, lacking colour. Wanderers in that happy valley, through two luminous windows, saw spirits moving musically to a lute's well-tuned law, round about a throne where, sitting Porphyrogene, Poe may have created the form of the word for this poem. A Porphyrogene is a Byzantine emperor's son born in the purple or porphyr room assigned to empresses, hence a prince born after his father's ascension, a person born into the nobility. In state, his glory well benefiting, the ruler of the realm was seen. And all with pearl and ruby glowing was the fair palace door, through which came flowing, 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 and sparkling evermore, a troop of echoes, whose sweet duty was but to sing, in voices of surpassing beauty, the wit and wisdom of their king. But evil things, in robes of sorrow, assailed the monarch's high estate. Ah, let us mourn, for never morrow shall down upon him desolate. And round about his home the glory that blushed and bloomed, it was a dim remembered story, is but a dim remembered story of the old time entombed. And travellers now, without that valley, through the red-litten windows, see vast forms that move fantastically to a discordant melody, while the ghastly rapid river, through the pale door, a hideous throng rush out forever, and laugh, but smile no more. That was a little tough to get through the end there. Oh, yes, Amber, it is definitely on my end, yes. You only typed it once. But it's showing up like 100 times. Everything you guys type. But it's just on my end, so that is perfectly okay with me. I'm fine with that problem because, you know, whatever. So, that being said, that was the final poem of the evening. We read 4 from Edgar Allan Poe, and we now move, and we also got 2 of my own plus their rewrites. So I hope you enjoyed yourselves tonight. That was poetry time, story time. And yes, please find me on Facebook if you like, Brett Picorni. You can also like the Storytime group. Try to join it. It's Storytime, 2 words with an exclamation point at the end. If you have not already, like this video on YouTube, subscribe to my page, and share it with your friends so they can join as well. And finally, Twitch. You can find me on Twitch if you're on there and you would like to. It's Brett Doesn't Game, all one word. With that, I'm tired and I must be off. So good night, much love. I bid you adieu. Until next time, dear listeners / readers / whatever you want to be called, I will see you tomorrow in the evening with Dracula.